Former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou has signed a multi-fight deal with the Professional Fighters League, PFL, ending his 4-month stint in free agency. The New York Times reported that Ngannou has agreed to compete in the newly created Super Fight pay-per-view division, with the freedom to pursue boxing and a leadership role within the PFL. The Cameroonian knockout artist will also be able to make his long-desired venture to the ring, and is expected to lace the boxing gloves later this year before debuting in the Smart Cage in mid-2024. Ngannou had left the UFC in January following a lengthy contractual dispute that centered around the promotion's alleged dismissal of terms such as fighter healthcare and an athlete advocate. One of his major gripes with the UFC was the lack of freedom when it came to pursuing outside opportunities such as boxing. In addition to his fighting obligations, Ngannou will serve on the PFL's advisory board to represent fighter interests and also as the chairman of PFL Africa. Let's just say, all in my deal with PFL is more than anyone else offered. The past few months have been a very interesting time to understand and see the landscape, but I'm very excited about this deal with the PFL because they basically showed what I was expecting. They didn't just show up as a promotion that was looking for a fighter, but really came as a partner that sees more value in you as a person. Johnny Walker's recent win over Anthony Smith at the North Carolina event received mixed reviews, with UFC President Dana White expressing his disappointment in Walker's performance. Despite securing an important victory and showcasing his ability to go the distance, White criticized Walker for not delivering a more impressive performance. White suggested that Walker fought too cautiously and failed to pursue a finish when he had the opportunity. Walker had expressed his desire for a rematch with current champion Jamal Hill after the fight, and while his win will likely lead to a climb in the light heavyweight rankings, White believed that Walker didn't shine as expected. The charismatic Brazilian fighter had previously secured a first-round knockout against Paul Craig in January, but his approach against Smith left White unimpressed. Despite the criticism, Walker's win adds another notable name to his record and sets him on a path towards further opportunities in the division. Walker didn't really wow anybody tonight, but he won. He was put the co-main event to kind of shine tonight. He got a W, so I guess that's good. Obviously, he's in there with a very durable, tough guy and a dangerous guy in Smith. But Smith got dropped, was hurt in the first round, and then his leg was gone, and Johnny never went for the finish, never tried to finish the fight. Former UFC title challenger Stephen Thompson has praised Jake Paul, calling him a professional athlete and suggesting that he is likely to defeat Nate Diaz in his upcoming fight. Paul has been a polarizing figure in combat sports, but has been successful in his professional boxing career, recording notable victories over MMA veterans Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, and Anderson Silva. However, he recently tasted defeat in his first clash with a recognized pro pugilist against Tommy Fury. Thompson praised Paul's opponent's selection and claimed that Diaz is likely to be his next victim. He also commended Paul for solidifying himself as a professional athlete through his stint in combat sports. Paul's upcoming fight against Diaz has received mixed predictions, with some notable backers like Thompson believing that Paul will come out on top. Despite his polarizing status in combat sports, Paul's success in the ring and ability to attract attention have made him a noteworthy figure in the world of combat sports. Man, to be honest with you, Nate Diaz is not. He's got good hands, but he's not a boxer. He's not known as just a pure boxer. It's really nice to be able to see Jake and Logan Paul. They're very intelligent with who they fight. They're big names, but they're never guys that are solely focused on the striking aspect. I don't think you'll ever see Jake Paul fight somebody like me. The highly anticipated boxing match between Jake Paul and Nate Diaz is off to a blazing start in terms of ticket sales. According to a report from Sports Business Journal, 60% of the tickets for the event have already been sold, just days after they became available. Additionally, 90% of the floor seats and seats in the lower portion of the American Airlines Center in Dallas have been sold. The venue has a capacity of around 20,000 attendees and is home to the Dallas Mavericks and Dallas Stars. Tickets went on sale following the pre-fight press conference, where Paul and Diaz faced off ahead of their clash scheduled for August 5th. Despite Diaz's ongoing legal issues, the fight is set to take place as planned. The ticket prices range from $61.50 for upper-level seats to $131.50 for lower bowl seats. Compared to Paul's previous fights, the ticket sales for the Paul vs. Diaz bout are on a much faster pace. The event is co-promoted by Paul's Most Valuable Promotions and Real Fight Incorporated. Diaz, who last fought in his UFC fight against Tony Ferguson in 2022, is making his boxing debut, while Paul aims to rebound from a loss to Tommy Fury earlier this year.